Major one is that yesterday there was an attempted arrest of the Member of Parliament for Asin South and ranking member on the Defence and Interior Committee of Parliament, the Honourable Reverend John Ntim Fordjour. We saw security operatives. We are being told these are NIB operatives. We saw uniformed policemen, and then we were informed also of some ununiformed or plainclothes officers at the residence of the MP. Okay, there were about 20 of them at the residence, his home here in Accra, and then subsequently we saw the minority trooping in their numbers, minority MPs trooping in their numbers, together with some executives of the New Patriotic Party. Eventually, that arrest did not happen. There was some engagement between the leadership of the minority, the MP himself, and the security operatives. And so that arrest attempt was foiled. It did not happen, did not see the light of day. Honourable, I'll start with you. Provisions of the Constitution and established protocols of Parliament surrounding engagement of a sitting MP by national security agencies or security agencies in the country. If you look at all that happened yesterday, do you think there was a breach, there was a disregard?
Thank you very much. Good morning. From my experience, absolutely, there was total disrespect for the established processes and procedure. By our established practice, if a member of Parliament is needed for any matter, you go through the office of the Speaker of Parliament. Right. And that is how the practice has been. It's established convention. So I was a bit surprised with what happened yesterday. And this is not new. I've been in Parliament before. I'm a former chairperson to the committee. The Honourable Ntim Fordjour is a ranking member too.
As a Defence and Interior.
A Defence and Interior. And we've gone through these processes before. My colleagues were in opposition when I was in government. And times that I've been on the committee when we were in opposition as well, we've called for similar concerns. And what did he do? He was the committee. He wasn't speaking in his capacity as the honourable member of Parliament ordinarily. He was speaking in his capacity as the ranking member of the committee.
But not on behalf of the committee.
On behalf of the committee. Because he would not speak on this subject if he had not been made a ranking member of the Defence and Interior Committee.
But if he's first and foremost, on behalf of the committee, it will be in consultation with the chairman.
Let me go to the history that I've so far picked up. First and foremost, he wrote administratively to the chairperson of the committee that these are the practices we go through. And it wasn't only this particular subject.
Right.
He wrote on 3 concerns. This saga, when this administration took office, they went somewhere in the northern part of the Greater Accra region, somewhere Sapperman area, and made some fake
dollars and gold bars.
Exactly. Your guess is as good as your history is good as well. And then, additionally, we busted a heavy cocaine not too long ago. And as part of the practice of Parliament, we invite, when matters break like this, for further and better conversation.
Right.
So we invite the agencies to come and brief the committees. So he went through, that's how he started his conversation, as if they didn't want that to happen. But he had already initiated administrative processes. And so he also have his say. That is what we do in Parliament. The majority will have their way, the minority will have a say. So together with colleagues on the committee, they addressed the press. And then His Excellency the President, I call him the most experienced practitioner in the dispensation we're in. I give it to him. Made a statement. And then in his statement, he said they should collaborate.
Do the committee sit when the House is on recess?
Yes. When the House is on recess, if I was a member of Parliament and I wanted to leave the jurisdiction, the country, I need to write and seek for a permission from the office of the Speaker through my whips before I'm able to even move out of the jurisdiction. So this is how Parliament operates. That's why the procedure is that if you need a member of Parliament, you go through the Speaker. and assess him.
As we've seen in the case of the member for Yagaba Kobori
That is the procedure. And Gomoa Central MP.
Yeah.
That's what they are going to do. But you see, let's draw attention on what is happening. I want us to have a very deep, we need to ask ourselves some deep questions on what is happening, because the administration today is leading policy. And for me, as an analyst, as I sit behind and observe what is happening, they are sending a message across to us. I've been observing.
Which message is?
Which message is that I don't see good faith. And if you speak against the administration or say a matter that is not in good terms with the administration, they will come after you. And it saddens me.
I think this breeds a culture of silence.
Exactly where I'm pointing to. Exactly where I'm pointing to. And it is totally against the norms and the principles that we have adopted as a republic to run in the fourth dispensation that we're in this current fourth democratic practice we're using to govern ourselves. And so I find it a bit strange because the policy, I give you a very typical example.
Right.
The gentleman who was arrested at the airport, the former National Signals Bureau director, wasn't absconding. He was coming home.
Right.
He's a citizen. Besides whatever is going to happen, he has rights. So because he has rights to counsel, the practice is you want to invite him for questioning on information you have. Was it necessary handcuffing him at the airport? That approach, was it proper? Is that how we do it in our practice? The way we are seen as a beacon of democracy, is that how we do it? That on one leg. I give you this example. Our courts have given a ruling on what we call misinformation and disinformation.
Right.
The poster boy to that ruling is Kevin Taylor, the famous gentleman on social media. And there's a ruling against him. This same character gets into our jurisdiction. And the same tools we are using against a sitting member of parliament who is in government and who is so being sworn into office, not just an elected member, but he's been sworn, he's taken an oath in the Parliament of the Republic of Ghana. And he's been promoted to become a ranking member. What's a ranking member? He's the, in the Westminster system, he becomes the shadow minister.
Right.
So he sits as a minister. And we use the same state apparatus to a leader leading a bunch of whistleblowers, that's the committee members. We use that same weapon to go after him, who is in country, inbound. He's not traveled anywhere. And there's no law court decision against him. We use that same tool to protect Kevin Taylor when he's in Ghana. When there's a law court decision on him, we use that same team to protect him. And we're using that same team to go after a sitting member of parliament. That is unheard of.
If you say to protect him, is it to say that because he wasn't picked up, he was protected?
Exactly, because the point is that the decision has been taken in this country against him. There's a ruling against him. And he comes. And this protection we see with him is the same. You know what the security men in clothes, you know what they are? They are secret police. So they protect him in the same jurisdiction. And the same people are being used to go after a statesman. People don't get it. If you are in parliament, you are in government. It's an arm of government. And the practice is that we together, the majority and the minority, concurrently work. That is another leg of it. The same act that we had. Look, I talked about the first gentleman who was arrested. I look at oral. Good policy Now we are trying to get it all together. There is a person who used to work in the former administration that a court of competent jurisdiction has ruled against. I was expecting some attempt at extradition. We are not seeing those things. Rather, we are using this as a message to...
Are we referring to the former Maslok boss?
Exactly. That's why I said, if people are coming in country and they are not running away, why rush to handcuff them at the airport? Because you can invite them. Like yesterday when they went to Ntim Fordjour's house to invite him. Was it necessary to take plainclothes security policemen over 20, wielding all manner of ammunitions? Has he got an ammo in his house? Is that right? Is that where we've got into? So I see that the administration is sending a message to us. And what is the message? The message is that if you unnecessarily criticize us, we'll come after you. Where is the premise coming from? The leader of government communications, the gentleman who speaks for government, a member of parliament, said that they were going to use the ranking member as a test case on your network. And exactly the playbook is being played out to us. So, who will do whistleblowing to the system again?
But then the argument they hold is that they've invited him. The president has even urged him to assist with the investigations. Subsequently, the government's communication minister says the MP has not responded or attended upon any of the invitations extended to him.
I'll give you a clear example. A member of parliament for Medina, Abokubi, there was one time a civic demonstration and some members of the public did something untoward that the law enforcement agents tried to stop them. He obstructed them in theater, and that was an obstructing to justice.
Yeah.
And at the time, the law enforcement agents thought that they had the right to go after him. He was in church service. My brother and senior colleague, the current Minister of Interior, hurriedly then a leader of the House, went to extricate him. Why was so? It is because of procedure. So when you see, they see, they've invited him. The president was clear, collaborate with him. To collaborate with the member of parliament, like I said in my earlier statement, you have to go through the speaker officially to invite him. He's not just an ordinary person like me sitting here.
It's a matter of national interest, a matter of national security. We're investigating, we've hit a block. We need your assistance. We need you to provide us with the evidence you have.
As sweet as you put it,
you are not showing up.
As sweet as you put it, remember we are operating within the confines of a framework called the rule of law.
Yeah.
And in that framework, there are procedures, there are practices. That's why there's precedence. So you don't just ordinarily speak it out like that. It doesn't happen. That's why there's always a representation. That's why in the People's Forum in Parliament, my brother and I were there representing our people.
Let's say good morning to him then. The Honorable Ntim has joined us. Former local government minister, former
it is by rules. It is by rules. And that is why I'm saying I've been assessing and analyzing what has been happening. A message is being communicated. And that is why I find bad faith. And I don't think it's proper. Because this crucible we are in, we're going to go around it. It won't stop today. It won't end today. Me, 8 years ago, when I had been made, around this time, when I had been made a chairman for Defense and Interior Committee, I went through the same procedures. And I worked with my colleagues. And in serious matters of the nature, there are matters you can't put in the open. You would have to sit with the operatives and discuss in camera. And so these are matters. That's what I'm saying. If we have all these tools to our disposal, and yet we want to do them this style, that is why I said, well, I'm counting the events that have been occurring and happening, and the way and manner it's being approached. A message is being sent to us.
And this message is
that the government is going to be intolerant to people who criticize him. Very, very intolerant to people who criticize him. Yes, if I don't value this that way. I don't know how I'll put it again.
Very well. Honorable, thank you for joining us. Good morning once again.
Good morning.
So I'm sure you've seen and heard what happened yesterday. National security operatives at the home of Reverend Ntim Fordjour, a certain member of parliament. I was just having a conversation with the Honorable Acheampong regarding the same. I just need to pick your thoughts. As a former MP, we know what the established protocols are. We know what the Constitution also allows, the procedure to follow if you want to engage a certain member of parliament. Some say yesterday was a sad day for democracy. Would you share in this?
First, let me say good morning to your viewers and to my very good brother and friend. Nana, if it were not Seth Acheampong, maybe I will be in another mood to speak. But because of him, I will try to compose myself.
Very well, very well.
The reason being that me sitting here went through a much more harrowing ordeal under their government. I was handcuffed and put in the boot of a car as a sitting member of parliament on the 7th of December 2020 and dumped at the regional police command. I collapsed. I don't know what happened until 7 hours. 52 of my officials, my party officials, were arrested when my pooling agent has been shot and killed. Up to today, 4 years, 5 years down the line, my boys are still in court. And those who did the shooting are walking free. Sometimes we need to say it as it is.
Right.
What happened yesterday is no news.
Is it not?
No.
Really?
Why is it news? The Honourable Member of Parliament is not in Parliament at this moment in time. The invitation to the Speaker is only when there is parliamentary sitting. The fact that you are a Member of Parliament do not absolve you from being arrested when you commit a crime. It's only a privilege that you have. And that privilege is exercised through the Speaker.
But in this case, has he committed a crime?
If he had not, would the police be inviting him?
Well, he's alleged.
Let me
something.
say this. Look, what happened yesterday was a drama. The minority leader, Honorable Afenyo Market, asked him whether he has not had an agreement with government officials on how to exercise this right. He had an agreement with our people that at any point in time, any of his people are needed, he will voluntarily present them.
I think he mentioned same yesterday that when due process is followed.
What due process is
That's
he
what
talking
he
about?
said.
What due process? And I'm saying that the invitation to a member of parliament being exercised through the Speaker is only when parliament is in session. Or you are in your constituency doing the work of parliament. You can't be sitting in Accra when you are the MP of Asin South and tell us you are in parliament doing your work.
It's any visit to the constituency regarded parliamentary work?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. You understand? Once you go to your constituency, once you are working in your constituency, once you're on your way from your constituency to parliament, or from your house to parliament, or from parliament to your house, you exercise that privilege. But not when parliament is on recess. You don't have any parliamentary committee meeting. You are in your house, and you are invited, and you say, I will not respond to the invitation. Two, let me say, all those people, including that bald-headed, excuse my language, that bald-headed, pot-bellied youth organizer. What they did yesterday was obstruction. And if I were the National Security Minister, all of them would be arrested by now.